Well, welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com, where we are thrilled that you are here today. It is again, a beautiful, beautiful day here in West Central Florida, 72 and sunny. We're going to deal with some dry weather for the next few days, but the sun will be out, won't be raining. It'll be very, very nice. All right. This is interesting. This is where what I'm going to talk about today is where I got in. About 33 years ago, almost 34 years ago, my son was born. And I, as a young Democrat, because I was a Democrat, right? Why? Because my parents were Democrats, and Democrats were for the working class, poor people, struggling people. What I didn't realize at that point is that what I didn't need to be was poor and struggling. So I didn't really have anything in common with what they wanted me to be. It took me a bit, admittedly, until I woke up and said, this is not what I believe. And this is the seminal issue as to what caused it was the birth of my son. And because I had been the person, especially in college, because you're super smart in college, right? Just ask anybody in college now how super smart they are, because they're hearing from the professors and they're cogitating. And when you basically can't find your ass with both hands and a flashlight and a team of search dogs, but you're so erudite, you're so elite and smart. What do you do? I'd said that if you were against abortion, don't have one. That makes sense. If you're against abortion, don't have one. So if you don't like, so if you're against killing people, don't kill them. Yeah, that saves lives. That's good, right? That's a good moral high ground to stand on. It's nothing to stand on. It's foolishness. It's ridiculousness. It's outrageousness. It allows child murder to happen. It does. So this issue is an issue that was the off ramp for me from the progressive Democrat liberal ideologies onto the more conservative Republican uh, conservative ideology. That issue. But our president, Joe Biden, who's supposedly a devout Catholic, how do you know? Ask him. Is under fire repeatedly for going against what the Catholic Church believes in due to his pro-abortion stance. This week, Cardinal Gerhard Mueller, the former prefect of the Vatican's highest doctrine office, called for Biden's excommunication as the president vowed to reinstate Roe v. Wade in his State of the Union address. So when Biden says that he's going to somehow reinstate Roe v. Wade, how? Because it was a Supreme Court decision. I'm not sure how he's going to do that. Mueller described Biden's efforts to keep abortion legal for American women as infanticide and is calling for his excommunication. Now, if you're not sure what that means is that you are actually kicked out of the Catholic Church and that you are to be shunned of the Catholics. It means that you've been banished. Now, will that happen? No, it won't happen. But I find it interesting that we can have this conversation. Should Joe Biden be excommunicated? If you're Catholic and you watch any of these shows that I do, any of these podcasts, do you think that Joe Biden, as a person, not as the president of the United States, but as a person, as someone who says that they grew up Catholic and is devout Catholic and all that stuff, should be excommunicated from the Catholic Church. Mueller described Biden's efforts to keep, again, abortion legal in America for American women as infanticide. Infanticide. Well, he said that it's unacceptable to declare yourself a Catholic, but to promote the killing of another human being. The word abortion is too much a soft word. We've said that many times, that we have just sort of softened the language. Ending a pregnancy. The reality is killing, murder of a living person. Mueller told LifeSite News. There's no right to kill another person. It's absolutely against the fifth commandment. Well, and to be more direct, it's the fifth commandment doesn't say thou shalt not kill. It actually says thou shalt not murder. Because there are, as in war, there are times where, frankly, it is justified to kill. Murder is the unjustifiable act in ending another's life. That's murder. Now, an innocent person is taking an innocent person. An innocent person, we cannot take their lives if they are innocent. That would be murder. A person who is a combatant in war is generally not innocent. A person who's committed a terrible crime is not innocent. A baby living inside a mother's uterus is as innocent as it gets. Taking that life is murder. The fifth commandment says that really, if you go back to the Greek, says thou shalt not murder. So this softening of the language needs to be called out. The American Life League said that Mueller was affirmed in spades after Biden declared March 31st, Easter Sunday, Transgender Day of Visibility. Like somehow that couldn't wait till the next week. Now, I know that the Transgender Day of Visibility has been a thing since the Obama administration. But they get to decide where it is. It moves around. Did he not know it was Easter? Could he have not moved it to, I don't know, this Wednesday, next Thursday? No, because the idea was to make sure that they could stick it in the face of Christians. The outrage that Biden would proclaim this on the feast of the resurrection of Christ is not an accident. This is proof positive that Biden has no respect for the teaching of the Catholic Church, and he does not understand the basic truth that God created man in his image, male and female, and that anyone or any statement that violates that basic teaching is an abomination. It is the work of the devil who is operating through the actions and words of Biden himself. That's strong language. That's tough. That's tough talk. Mueller added that Biden is a superficial Catholic when in reality he is a nihilist, calling for Americans to reject the president's murderous ideology. They cannot, on one hand, protest the killing of innocent people in Ukraine, while on the other hand, allowing the killing of their own children, he said. The Cardinal's comments came after Biden denounced Florida Supreme Court ruling to uphold a 15-week abortion ban that is outrageous and extreme. Florida's bans, like those put forward by Republican elected officials across the country, are putting the health and lives of millions of women at risk. Biden wrote in the statement, but the fact is that he didn't make that statement. You know that. I know. I rarely read comments because comments are comments. But one here in townhall.com reads, "No man can serve two masters, for either he hates one and loves the other, or he will hold to one and despise the other." You cannot serve God and mammon. It's from Matthew 6:24. And this is what this person, Joe Biden, is trying to do. And if you, and I don't know, I on that issue, this issue just by itself, how any Democrat or proponent of abortion, child murder, can consider themselves a Christian, forget Catholic. How do you consider yourself a Lutheran or a Methodist or a Baptist or a Pentecostal, somebody who's Pentecostal or anybody who considers themselves a Christian? How can you promote abortion, child murder, infanticide? How? Well, at that point in my life, where my life was changing and combined with the birth of my son, I figured that I couldn't. And that opened the door to this. My name is Willie Lawson. This has been the Mona Report. Mona Report is a production of fightbackmedia.com, 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 and fightbackmediatv.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.